I've worked over 20 hours on JoinStellar AI and will share with you my honest review of the site. I'll let you know the good, the bad and the ugly parts of the site, and will also reveal how much I've earned through JoinStellar so far. In the next 8 minutes, I'll cover everything you need to know about the site to help you decide if you want to start working at JoinStellar. JoinStellar is an AI training site that can be done remotely, from home, whenever you like. You don't need to have any previous experience training AI, and you don't need to have any specialist knowledge areas. There are no minimum or maximum number of hours you need to do, and I've had times where I've not worked for weeks on the site, and I've come back and still had work. I think the site is still relatively new, so there aren't that many projects that I've seen. As you can see, I currently have 2 different projects available, one paying $25 an hour and one paying $30 an hour. If you do enough good work on a project, it's possible to become a reviewer for that project, and that would come with a pay rise, which I believe is to $42 an hour. Since I've been on this site, I've always had work available, other than for around 3 days when both projects were down for maintenance. But I was made aware that they were down for maintenance, so I didn't think that I'd been kicked from the projects. Without going too much into the specifics on my projects, they are both very different. One is more web research focused and the other is more creative. I'm really enjoying the creative one, and that's what I've been doing most of my work on. A few things I think you need to have to be able to succeed on the site are creativity, as you'll need to come up with different scenarios yourself. You'll need to be able to think logically and be a quick learner to be able to learn new projects or project changes. I've not yet been able to find a list of countries that the site does and doesn't hire from. However, someone has commented on one of my JoinStellar videos previously, stating that the site does hire people from Indonesia. So I think JoinStellar may be hiring from more countries than people would expect. A great thing about JoinStellar is that the qualifications for different projects are paid. So you aren't sacrificing around an hour of your time to learn a new project without being compensated. I've passed both qualifications I took first time, and once you've passed, you can begin working on that project. The best way to gain access to new qualifications on the site is to put in continuous good quality work on the projects you already have access to. I believe this is more important than just time on the site, as I took over a month off from the site and was not offered any qualifications during that time. Another amazing thing about JoinStellar is the feedback system, which I think is better than any competitor sites at the moment. After completing a varying amount of tasks on a project, you will not be able to complete any more tasks for a short period, and will be given feedback on the ones you have completed. This is great because it allows you to know if you are making any mistakes or if there are any ways for you to improve your work. This just lets you know if you are headed in the right direction and gives you more of a sense of certainty in completing the tasks. The earning potential on the site is really good. You could easily earn thousands of dollars a month from this. I think it would be easily possible to do 20 hours a week on the site if you had the time, and that would get you over $2,000 a month. I will be releasing a video soon where I work as much as I can for a week on JoinStellar to really show the earning potential of the site. So subscribe if you don't want to miss it, and like the video if you're finding it useful. And as you can see, this project currently has a pay bonus of $5 an hour. I believe this is the only type of bonus system that occurs on the site, which is fine and can really add up over time. Despite the earning potential available here, I still would not recommend anyone to rely on this site as their only source of income. Sites like these, where you're not guaranteed any work, can just stop giving you tasks at any time, and you don't want to be left in that situation. I do think it would be hard to get kicked from JoinStellar though. As long as you follow the feedback and make sure to implement it into your future tasks, you should be able to have a high quality level of work. JoinStellar has its own timer to track your work. You can pause the timer if you need to take a break, or at the end of your task, you can override the timer and enter a different time. I would recommend being honest though, as this is a great gig and you don't want to risk losing access to the site. Payments are made through PayPal. I'm not sure if they allow any other methods, but I don't think they do. And payments are made weekly, every Tuesday. I've never had any money for a task be withheld, and the payments have always been on time. The site's layout is simple and I found it very easy to use. They seem very open and straightforward with good communication and offer amazing flexibility. And another great thing is they really seem to prioritise the quality of work over quantity. I don't feel rushed when I'm completing the work. But what are some of the negatives of JoinStellar? I only have access to 2 projects currently. This is limited and more projects would give me more variety and allow me to have more choice in the work I do. I personally don't find this next one to be a negative, but I know some workers do, and that's the throttle or feedback system. As when you're waiting for the feedback to come in, you're unable to work on any more tasks for that project. I get how this could be annoying if you're trying to cram in as much work as possible or only have a limited amount of time, but I just think the feedback system is too good to really be annoying. Probably the main negative for me is that there isn't currently a system to allow chatting with other workers on the same project. I know there is the general Reddit, but you can't go into much detail on there. I'm talking more about having a dedicated chat for a project that only workers on that project can see, like how dataannotation.tech has Slack and Outlier has Discourse. Hopefully this is something we could see from JoinStellar in the future. Another negative of the site for me is that it doesn't have a total or lifetime earnings section. This is only because it would make it easier for me to show how much I've earned in my videos, and it wouldn't actually have much benefit beyond that, as people can just work out themselves their total earnings. My total earnings from the site so far are $645 in around 20 hours. And as you can see, $175 of that was from last week, as I'm starting to work on the site more regularly. The final negative of JoinStellar is they don't seem to let people who failed the starter assessment know that they've failed. And I know that other sites also do this, and there's no obligation for them to let anyone know, but it would be nice. To gain access to the site, you'll have to pass a starter assessment that many people have struggled with. It has a variety of different questions in, and in my video here, I give tips on how to successfully answer each one, so you can start working on the site.